And it's another day on the Roto Hackers podcast. My name is AJ Herschel, the kid, and with me are some of the greatest fantasy analysts in the history of the world, Judah Buddha, and the absolute stud, it's
Oh.
Hit that note, baby. He hit that note.
It's so high that it cut the broadcast out. Yeah.
He hit that resonant frequency.
Yeah. You cut you cut out right as you got to the j.
Oh, come okay, fine.
We were just saying that like you just hit it so high that it just the broadcast couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Well, that was not the way I wanted to start, but it is mock draft day, and I'm excited. I'm very happy. So if anyone's watching, we are doing a mock draft on yahoo.com. Do you guys know if Yahoo's implemented the rookies yet? Are they in now?
They are
question.
because they
because
actually
you were just talking about.
Yeah, because I've got that free team that I drafted. So they actually put them. I thought they would put them like all in at one time. They actually put them in like each set like the day after they were drafted. So
Wow.
Yeah, so it was
quick.
Interesting. Yeah.
A lot of people sitting around wanting to do stuff.
I guess so. For all those people that somehow got one of those early April drafts from Yahoo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got to log in.
Maybe don't show your password.
It's not going to show it. Isn't there just a place to go to? All right, it'll take me off for a minute. I'm going to log in. Just go to that.
Okay, so I am curious, how late do we want to do this mock draft? Like, how long do we want people to wait to come in?
How long do we want to?
Yeah, because they have them like every 10 minutes or whatever.
I mean, I don't know. I think maybe we just wait a little while longer. I don't know if I'd want to really wait past noon. I think like whoever's here,
right?
Maybe at noon we can just go with that, and then just join.
All right, cool.
Let me see what Judah thinks, but.
All right, and Ryan N is he's the first to join us. Welcome, Ryan N. We're mock drafting today. We're just figuring out which mock draft we're going to do. Yahoo.com as well. Good to see you. Good to have you with us.
Yep.
So it's weird being that I just got this huge rush from like the NFL draft, and then all of it kind of just came crashing down when I realized we don't have anything for 4 more months.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I mean, there's, just little bits and pieces out there. I saw a thing talking about how maybe if there's no college football season, the NFL would likely play games on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, so they would look to fill some of that void, and so you'd get 2 days of NFL games as opposed to 1. But it would, in some cases, it would actually kind of make your lineup decisions harder though, because we run into that sometimes with having a Sunday or Monday night game where you're not sure if a guy's going to play or not. So you might have, like say your best 2 options at running back are both playing on Sunday and one of them's questionable or, but you've got your third best guys going on Saturday. Then do you put him in or not? So it just adds one more day to, those dilemmas sometimes that you face with Thursday, Sunday night, Monday night games. But if there's no college football, that would be fun. I mean, you'd still get, both days of football on the weekend. So,
right.
I don't like college football particularly. I have no affinity for it one way or the other, but I do think it would be bad for NFL if they don't have college football.
Yeah.
Something will break something for sure.
Yeah. Well, there was another article talking about how, it might come down to a league by league decision where the SEC commissioner was implying that if other leagues didn't play, SEC would still probably try to play.
Really?
So it would be funny to just and so then I don't know how the NCAA, like if you have conferences, I guess if you had conferences not even playing, it would probably depend on how many were playing versus not playing. But it would be a little bit funny if you had just like SEC and Big Ten and Pac-12, and then they just picked playoff teams from a handful of leagues. So
maybe just do like a Power 5, just a Power 5 season that year. Only divisional opponents and conference opponents. Just go straight to playoffs in there.
Yeah, maybe. Baseball has floated something similar with that, like having like realigning divisions for 1 year, basically doing away with NL and AL, and just basically limiting games to within your regional division. Some of those it kind of makes sense for, where the Braves would play. Like the Braves would not be in the East. I think they would be in the Central. And so like you would have Florida teams in the East with like New York and stuff like that. Then you would have the Braves over with, teams like Kansas City and stuff like that. So like geographically for the Braves, it wouldn't, I don't know how much that would really help things, but I guess a lot of teams it would kind of help with limiting the travel in the regions and stuff. So there's a lot of possible scenarios out there.
Yeah. So Judabuda, Jared and I were talking a little bit while you were off. What mock draft we want to roll with? There's a couple in 10 minutes.
Let's
put
go
us right at 11.
Let's go with the 5 minutes.
In 5
We're
minutes?
Late. If somebody was coming, they would have already checked in. I think it's just, we got Thomas's here. We've got Ryan. So let's go.
Yeah, I mean, which half of our league will be people we know. So.
Yeah.
So which one do we want to go in? Do we want to go?
Oh, wow. Something just happened.
Uh-oh.
Did you see?
Oh, the other ones just started drafting.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Oh, okay. So let's go. Let's go. How many people you want to do? 10 team
let's do 10, because I mean that's the normal standard.
Okay.
All right, let's do run and gun. What happened?
All right.
I'm in. Okay.
Pulling it up. Yep. So Thomas H, Ryan N. We're doing run and gun mock draft, yahoo.com, 10 team. Oh, this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I don't know where I want to be either.
Yeah.
Run and gun. Hey, I don't know where to go.
Dang it, Jared, you just took the 7th spot.
Yeah.
Ryan's in. I see Ryan.
Oh, there he is. All right.
I hope that's the right Ryan.
I know.
And we got Alfredo. What's up, Alfredo? You don't know Alfredo?
No, man, I don't know Alfredo. All right,
From
Thomas
Alfredo's
H.
Sauce?
I see you in the chat suffering from sports deprivation. We need you, man. And Ryan N, that is him. All right.
It's only 2 spots left. Better get in quick.
Oh, get in, Thomas.
One spot left. Oh, hold up.
There it is.
Should we redo it?
Do we want to go back in?
Does he want to do it?
Yeah, talk to Thomas H. Thomas H, you there? Is he preoccupied? How much time do we have left?
I mean, we've got several minutes. We've got a few minutes left.
Yeah. Actually, I'll be right back.
Yep. And he's gone. So I'm kind of disappointed. I kind of wanted to get in that last spot. Last minute, I thought, no, I want to go in the last spot, and somebody took it.
Yeah, I drafted at 2. Let's see. I drafted at 2 last time, and I drafted at 3, I think. Yeah, I think 3 in that little league that I actually really did draft. So I picked 7 this time to give myself a later pick and kind of do it differently.
Oh man, I feel like 1's too much pressure.
Well, not with your first pick. Not with your first pick. That should be a pretty easy pick at number one.
Who would you take?
I mean,
Saquon?
you
It's
got
gotta
to
be Saquon, right?
No, you got to take McCaffrey.
Oh, I forgot about McCaffrey. I don't know.
You forget about the by far the best fantasy player last year.
It's
You
just,
could-
I just it bothers me that he was the best, last year and the year before, pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
How can he do it 3 years in a row?
I know.
How?
I know. Yeah, I think you can make I think you could make an argument for taking Saquon number one. But gosh, McCaffrey.
That's hard.
I mean,
I don't want first anymore.
well, and that's why I don't like. Do we have any update on Thomas H? Does he want to do it?
I don't know. Oh, perfect timing.
Yep.
He said, "Yep,
Let's
let's do this."
Well, okay, so do we get out or something?
Well, let's make sure there's. There's no spot in here. We'll have to get back out and get into another one.
How do I get out?
I mean,
Redraft. All right, let's go. Sorry, Ryan. Let's go. Let's try again. All right, let's try for not okay. There's 6 minutes.
well, what about is pump fake? What about pump fake? Is that one?
There's nobody in it though.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. Well,
Okay,
yeah, it's only 1 minute away. It may not fill up. Yeah, it's probably not going to. It's
All right, let's go for 4th and inches. 4th and inches?
The 18 one.
Huh? Oh, is it 8?
yeah, that's an 18 one. Wishbone, I think would be. Wait, no. Let's see how big is that one. Yeah, Wishbone. 10.
Wishbone. Okay, Wishbone.
6 minutes. Wishbone. There we go.
All right, this is the last time, Thomas H.
All right, I'm in Judah Budazen, and I took Jared's 7th spot this time.
That's all right. I'm okay with 8.
And there's Ryan. All right, 4 of us are in. Thomas H, we're just waiting on you.
Thomas H.
Here we go.
Oh, so let me
If you need the link to it, that's the link to the mock draft list in the comments right there.
Oh, cool.
You can click on that, and then it'll send you join Wishbone. Oh man, it's gonna be interesting. So have you guys done, or Jared at least, have you guys done any mock drafts yet? There's Thomas H. There he is. All right.
He's been in there.
He's number 1. All right, cool. So have you guys done any mock drafts with rookies or seen any projections yet on where they're going?
No, I have not. Although the fantasy
We've talked a little bit.
We've talked a little bit just offline about like fantasy analysts are, I think, overrating most of these rookies. They seem to be just assuming, I think incorrectly, that they're going to come in and just get the bulk of the carries, or like CEH. I sent Judah a little thing from the I think it was Andy Reid the other day, where he was, let's see if I can find it real quick, where he's basically talking about how Damian Williams is still going to be the starter.
Wow.
And CEH is going to get, a role. He's going to play some, but I mean, so I think, maybe he gets 12 touches or something, but I mean, that's, people are like ranking him as a top 10, top 7, top 8 running back in places. And I think that's nuts. Same with Jonathan Taylor. Marlon Mack is still there. He was productive for him. Naheem Hines is going to get some third down work. I just don't, Marlon Mack is injury prone. So you've always got the possibility that Taylor can, get more work, when he gets hurt. I think really you have to kind of evaluate them more based on their situation than their talent. So like Vaughn in Tampa, like he's more appealing to me than some of the other rookies drafted, above him, some of the more talented rookies, because, all he has to do is beat out Ronald Jones, or Akers in Los Angeles. All he's got to do is beat out Brown and Henderson. So some of these other guys, it's going to be, it's going to be a lot tougher for them when there's already a solid running back there.
Mm-hmm. I do think it's really interesting to see when the wide receivers in this draft are going to go, especially like Lamb and Judy, because Lamb is not in the greatest spot because he's in Dallas with 2 other receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And Judy's there, and I like him a lot because I like Denver. And then you've got Ruggs, who's basically the number 1 for Oakland now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the most interesting thing because we talked a lot about how this draft was already like really deep at only a couple positions anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we've gotten more running backs and more wide receivers that are saturating all the other players. It's really interesting to see where they're going to go, I think.
Yeah, just looking back at that draft, the real draft that I did, I mean, Darius Slayton and Will Fuller and Jarvis Landry were going in the 10th round.
Wow.
11th round, you had guys like Cooks and Sterling Shepard and Julian Edelman. Like, to me, it's hard to make a case for hardly any of those rookie receivers to take them before, at minimum, double-digit rounds, and then beyond that, like, I don't know, for me, like maybe you start looking at them in the 11th round or something. But I mean, typically it's just it's harder for rookie receivers to produce than it's a lot harder for rookie receivers to produce than it is running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you don't have a guy like if CeeDee Lamb had gone to the Jets or the Raiders or something like that. But I don't like his situation in Dallas. Henry Ruggs, I don't know if I love his situation in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe a guy like Justin Jefferson who can come in for Stephon Diggs, maybe a guy like Jerry Jeudy who's pretty, polished and ready for the game. But
why don't you like Ruggs in Vegas? Because at first I was agreeing with you, but you just said if CeeDee Lamb had gone there, that would have been a good spot.
Because I think CeeDee Lamb is more NFL ready, or like more ready to like step into, a real like number 1 receiver role, where like Ruggs is, I think, going to stretch the field. And also he's not like, Lamb can be more like a possession receiver and catch a lot of balls. Ruggs, I think it's going to be more boom or bust too with his style of play. So if Judy if Judy had gone to LA, like Ruggs, or I'm sorry, Lamb or Judy, then I would have felt like pretty good about that. But Ruggs, I just don't know when it's half point PPR. It's, and especially if it was full PPR, that would really scare me. So,
Well, we're 2 minutes and 26 seconds and counting to the draft. Thomas H wants to go ahead and just snipe Derrick Henry away from all of us.
Derrick Henry? He's not from me. First round, huh?
Yeah, because you're sitting at what, the 10th pick, right?
Oh, he's at well, Judah's at 10.
Yeah.
Thomas H that'd be a bold move to take Derrick Henry over McCaffrey and Barkley.
He's obviously joking.
Is he though?
Hey, EMC, isn't that somebody? Isn't that a viewer of the show? EMC?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I don't think so.
Remember, I thought we had somebody. No, okay.
All right. This is cool. This is gonna be really neat. 3 of us, Ryan and Thomas H. We get to figure out everybody's draft strategies now.
I'll be right back.
Because we are going to have
we get started.
Okay. So AJ, we are going to have a listener league, right?
Yeah. Like, absolutely. Beat the Roto Hackers or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, that'll be fun. Should we make it a pay league or no? No, it'd just be bragging rights, huh?
Yeah.
So who are you thinking? What you're what pick?
I'm sitting at pick 7 right now. So it's really interesting. Thomas H took pick 1, and Ryan, Yumi, and Jared all took 5 through 10. So we've got later picks. And I don't know if I want to give up my strategy because I know Ryan N's listening, and I'm worried he's going to snipe someone I want away from me.
See, I'm hoping that Alvin Kamara falls to me because I know none of you guys like him.
I like Kamara. I just don't like the situation. I think I think he could have a really good bounce back here, but he worries me a little bit.
See, Alvin Kamara's my number one. Well, Saquon Barkley. I don't know. To me, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Delvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, they're all interchangeable.
Really?
A lot of people don't see it that way, but
3.
So
2.
I even like Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I like Nick Chubb a lot as a player. I like him a lot. And Thomas H has 30 seconds. He's on the clock, and hopefully he will not take as much time as the Bengals did drafting Joe Burrow.
Who do you take? Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Barkley. It's going to go fast. I hope. Where did Jared go?
Jared, there he is. All right, he's back.
I'm back.
Perfect. So Thomas H went ahead and took McCaffrey, and who is this dude? Joe took Saquon Barkley, and so now we're waiting on Tree.
3 is where it gets interesting. 3 is kind of like 3 this year is kind of like the real NFL draft where like
Derrick Henry.
The first 2. Yeah. Hey, I took Henry. I think there's a solid argument to make for taking Derrick Henry at 3.
Zeke. All right, Ryan N. Here it is.
He's going to take Dalvin Cook, right?
I don't know.
No,
he did.
Okay. And there goes Michael Thomas. Rats. That's staying.
I think Alvin Kamara is going to fall to me because I know you guys don't like him.
Best player available. Best player available.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Devontae Adams. All right. There you go, Jared.
Yeah. Devontae, I think there's two very like elite fantasy wide receivers. It's Thomas and Devontae Adams. And I think it drops off to another tier after that. So I'm not set on taking a running back in the first round. I'd be happy with one of those 2 receivers and then take my, I still want to get some running backs by round 5 or so, but I don't think you have to take them at the first round, your first round pick.
Yeah. And Mr. EMC sniped Chubb. And so Josh Jacobs, that makes sense. But he's got back-to-back picks now.
Yeah. So I got to think about who in the second round is not going to come back to me. I kind of like Sanders. Now I'm going Galladay.
Wow, look at this. Clyde Edwards-Helaire sitting at 22?
I'm telling you, like they have those. I think they are extremely overvalued here.
Who?
I'm so confused.
Those rookie running backs.
Oh, yeah.
He's sitting at 22 in Kansas City. There's so many mouths to feed over there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's dumb.
You've got to be kidding me, right?
Because remember last year we talked about, or maybe it wasn't with you guys, but I remember somebody talking about, it might have been us, about how Reed does not like to use his rookies right away. He doesn't like, first of all, you guys have brought it to my attention how he's not hugely running back focused.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, he's skittish with rookies.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Reed just came out. Let's see.
Ryan N's back on the board. Here we go.
I can pull it up.
Think about his usage of rookies this year.
So here's what he said. Here's what he said about Edwards-Helaire. He said, I'm sorry. This was their GM, Brett Veach. Said Damian Williams will remain the starter, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire will, quote, compete for playing time. Well, I mean, of course he will. I don't know what that means. But he basically says, I certainly think it's going to be a shared load. Damian has been in this offense a long time and certainly has shown what he can do on that playoff run. That guy's a really good pass protector and can catch the football. Basically says, yeah, they're both great, but it's going to be a 1-2 punch. So, I mean, I think one of the first things you got to look at is workload. maybe that's the workload and team that you're on. To me, are the two most important things for fantasy players. Unless you're like a Christian McCaffrey. I mean, even then, like a McCaffrey or Barkley, it's still a huge emphasis. But if you're not an elite player, then you got to look at those, those parts after that.
Mm-hmm. So here's something interesting. Thomas H. first off took my guy Travis Kelce, but then he went and got Mike Evans over Chris Godwin.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Well, I think people are really feeling weird about Chris Godwin, man. He's an excellent player, but there's going to be a lot of people there, really good, talented people catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Now I'm flip-flopping on myself. I think I might be all in on Chris Godwin now that I'm seeing everybody is shying away from him.
So called.
All right,
Ryan,
how long till like
you're coming up in a couple picks, I think.
I'm looking at Odell and Gurley. Those are my targets.
Yeah, you are a big Odell fan.
I sure am. But I'm afraid that the stupid robot is going to get them because none of you guys are going to take those guys ahead. I mean, maybe.
Lamar Jackson. Okay.
Who took Lamar Jackson?
He actually went later than he normally has been.
Yeah.
I think it's because it could be because he's lower on the ADP.
Oh.
It's funny how ADP really, it sets the standard.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, I took Gurley. I wanted him.
Yeah.
You son of a gun.
I was eyeing him, but I was like, it's either him or AJ Brown. I'll keep him away from Jared.
All right, so I need another running back. So it's either Chris Carson, Singletary, or Melvin Gordon.
Well, while you're looking, Ryan N said he's not sure how to feel about Aaron Jones, but he's high on Adam Thielen this year.
I got a Thielen. I think that's smart. How do you guys feel about Thielen?
Yeah, I feel better about him with Diggs gone. Yeah,
I like him a lot. I'm just a little bit concerned about if the Vikings are going to start off hot or not. Because like last year, it took them 9 weeks before Cousins finally threw the ball more than 15 times. But I think they got it this year. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be pretty good. Ryan N, he wishes the stream wasn't behind. Yeah, I feel that.
Oh,
Mark
what do you
Andrews. Mean? I think there's a 10-second delay in between the stream and the
yeah. There's a little delay. Yeah, I took Andrews. I debated another running back, but there's some running back depth that I'm starting to like a little bit later. So
okay, all right.
I mean, now that you got the rookies in there as a third running back, Jonathan Taylor's not that bad of a pick.
True. You just wonder how long he'll be competing with Mac for, or in my idea, how long you'll be competing with Mac before he gets injured. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing that worries me.
Yeah, I mean they've got him as, a late 4th round pick based on his ADP. Like I would not take him till probably 6th. Like if he's going consistently 4th round, I'm not going to have that much because I think they are absolutely going to continue to use Marlon Mack. And I think they'll use Hines some on 3rd down because Mack is not a 3rd down running back. So Taylor has a little bit of an opportunity there, but not if they factor in Hines too. So I just, I don't. I'm skittish about him.
So Ryan N takes Le'Veon Bell at pick 36. And Thomas H says he thought about drafting Kittle and Kelce. What do you think about a 2 tight end strategy? Interesting. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, we talked about that last draft we did.
A little bit. Yeah.
I think Jared, you talked about wanting to take 2.
I do, but I don't think you have to take them. Like I would not take them that high. Like I would
Right.
not take 2-star tight ends like that. I would take 1, and then I think you can get great values on guys later in the draft. So I will have 2 tight ends in probably almost all my leagues, because I think there's just so much good depth that it's hard to not roster a second one. But I wouldn't take 2 stars like that, because I think some of these other guys can, have a breakout year that could put them up around that, maybe not necessarily Kittle or Kelsey type level, but you could very easily, Mark Andrews went undrafted in a lot of leagues last year, or was a last round pick or something. Maybe Hawkinson is this year's Mark Andrews, or something. So I think there's just too much value to use 2 early picks on 2-star tight ends.
Ryan N says he forgot he had Dalvin Cook when he drafted Thielen. Pretend he drafted Odell. And oh, come on, Ryan, you took Sutton from me. Rats. Oh man, now I got to change my whole strategy.
Sutton. I was looking at Sutton too, but I knew he would not get past you guys.
No way.
Yeah, it's the downside of being at the bottom here. It's like you got to think way ahead.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I'd been a little bit higher, but I don't know. I like getting 2 at a time though.
See, what really worries me in this draft is that there's going to be like I don't even know. It's just this. This is strange. This is strange because it's so weird seeing the rookie running backs, but they're all so high, like Jared was saying. And I feel like that's just going to mess up the auto draft.
I mean, yeah, like for example, right now, I'm looking, like, why would I take Swift over someone like Chark or McLaurin? Diggs? Are you kidding me? Diggs? No, come on. Ridley? Oh, Ridley's not. Okay. I'm petrified.
Ooh, DK Metcalf. Okay.
I think I'm gonna take Diggs. I don't see. I mean, Ridley. I should take Ridley.
After all your
you're right.
trashing of him last
I can't
year.
take Ridley. I'm going to take Diggs. I like Diggs a lot.
That was almost a no-win situation for you there, because Diggs is now the number 1 wide receiver on the team with John Brown, who you hyped up as the guy last year. I do like Calvin Ridley. So I'm going to take. Julio's always hurt. Ridley's going into his 3rd season. I think he's going to get an even bigger target share. And his numbers last year, 866 and 7 touchdowns, were in 13 games. He missed, the end of the season. So he would have easily gone over 1,000 yards, maybe 1,100 yards, 8 or 9 touchdowns. I think you can, project him for that this year. So,
yeah.
Thomas H has got a couple more questions for us. He said, do you think Juju has a bounce back year with Big Ben? Oh boy.
I do. I really do.
Oh man, DeAndre Swift.
What are you talking about? There is no running back. There's no running backs down here. What were you saying? Like good values?
Who? Me?
Yeah. I'm looking through the running backs and I feel like we're dead now. I'm dead. I can't get any more.
Maybe Jared's just saying that because he has Mixon, Gurley, and Mostert. Maybe that's
no. I said I liked some of the running back values later, and that was before. That was when I took Mark Andrews, and then I took Mostert. So Mostert was one of the guys I was talking about.
That's the.
So,
I see. Okay.
So I've now got 3, and sure, there's some of these guys that I like as a 4th and 5th running back, but not as like a 2 or 3. You know. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm really regretting not taking another running back. I'm too heavy on wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of my snake drafts, I will come out of the first 3 rounds, or I'm sorry, out of the first 5 rounds with 3 running backs.
Wow. Thomas H asks, what do you pay more attention to? X rank, or average ADP?
I don't know that I really pay that much attention to any of them. I kind of just like go by my own kind of little, tiers and ranks, but it's a mix. Like, I'm not, even if I have a guy going in the 3rd round, typically as a 1st round guy, I don't have to draft him there. So I know I can still get him later. So it's kind of it's kind of the little Venn diagram thing where you're got your little circles overlapping. Man,
Ryan N takes a risk on James Conner.
Rolling through.
I looked at James Conner. I'm thinking about Damon Williams unless one of you guys takes him. Being my 3rd running back.
Wait, who's in front of me? What are the chances auto draft takes this guy?
Takes who? Ooh, McLaurin's still on there.
Scary Terry.
I normally haven't been taking a quarterback till about 9 or 10, but Josh Allen was there, and I don't know that I really love any of the values on any of those other guys right here. So
yeah.
Ryan N does bring up a good point. He says he hates James Conner, but at 65 he'll take him. He's his 4th running back at this point. I completely missed that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good value.
What? Who did he take?
Ryan N's got Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Le'Veon Bell, and James Conner. That's a good running back lineup. I like that a lot.
I'm gonna take a chance on old Gronk.
Gronk. Okay.
Over, let's see who was left there. Maybe
I wanted to take Jared Cook, but I was like, you know what? Gronk's he could do just as good as Jared Cook. Huh?
Yeah.
He's Gronk.
I don't know. Goddard, I think is probably a better take. It's funny how the shining face of Gronk, it just being Gronk. I know he's not more talented at this point. Well, I think he is more talented, but athletically, I just don't think he can keep up with these other guys.
I am so glad you took Cam Akers.
I just like the value over. I like Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt, but unless Chubb gets hurt, I don't know that he's. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah. That was kind of a tough pick where I didn't love the values on any of those guys right there. Yeah. It's going to be, my auction drafts are going to be a lot more interesting this year because I think you can make a case in some of these auction drafts for taking 5 third-round level picks as opposed to a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd. I'll probably build a team mostly with a bunch of 3rd-round picks. I think there's a lot of different auction strategies that can work this year.
Well, Judah Buddha, you ticked off our resident Bucks fan. Judah stole my Gronk now. What do I do at tight end?
I mean, there are so many good tight ends. I really regret that. Although I like the way my team, I feel good having Gronk on my team. Just when I start thinking about it, I'm like, oh.
You literally have a WrestleMania champ right there with you, right?
That's true. Put his belt in the air, baby.
But Ryan did take the guy you were looking at, Judah. He took Jared Cook.
Mm-hmm. He's probably going to do better fantasy-wise.
Tell you, when you've got a pick at the beginning or end of a round, man, the wait between picks is just. I mean, I'm just 8, and Judah's all the way at 10. It's such a long wait.
Yeah,
It is a long wait. Ooh, John Brown might be a good little pick there. Buddy.
And I'm not surprised Thomas H., our resident Falcons fan, takes Matt Ryan. Not a surprise.
I almost took Matt Ryan. I almost took him. There's just too many good quarterbacks, though, to take that early. What round are we?
We're in round of 9 right now.
Yeah, near the bottom of
Round
9. Yeah, midway through 9.
Hey, did you need some? Aaron, did you need some in here?
Oh no, I just saw the light on there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Chanda was in there, so I just came in
Oh, okay. Just came in here.
here. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption there.
It's all right. Ryan NS, he says, by the way, Matt Ryan is my 1 QB in every fantasy draft in round 9, but Thomas got him this time. In paid leagues, Ryan is his guy. Ryan is like eerily the most consistent fantasy quarterback of all time. It's scary.
Yeah.
Now I got a choice here.
Is it almost my turn? This is taking forever.
I'm going to take a risk. I don't know how I feel about it, but we're going to roll with it. Ryan N says he'll settle for Brady. Thomas H. asks, do you think Darius Geis will break out this season? What do you guys think?
Yes, I think so.
Geis worries me.
It's a tough one.
It's just because he plays in Washington, and that's the thing that scares me the most. And Jared, I love Julian Edelman there.
Yeah, I think he's a huge value there.
Yeah, that was.
I was going to take Vaughn if you hadn't taken him.
All right, there we go.
Okay,
And our first
there
kicker
we
goes
go.
off the board via auto draft.
Marlon Mack. Look, Marlon Mack has fallen all the way. Look at Carrion and Marlon Mack now nearly to the 10th round when they were, otherwise like 5th round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and get my quarterback.
Oh, come on! Man, that stinks. I was really hoping for him there.
And then I don't think Jordan Howard's going to be. I think he's going to get some use. Jordan Howard, Carry. They're all sort of the same people.
Jared's back on the board.
J-Rod.
I'll take Slayton. I like Slayton. Okay.
Slayton.
Wow.
You love Slayton. I've seen you take him in every draft so far.
I mean, at the 10th round for a guy that could be the Giants' number 1 wide receiver. Yeah.
That's good. It's good.
He just.
Who else? Who else is the other wide receivers for the Giants? Are they still?
They still got Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate.
Wow.
But like Slayton was getting a lot of targets from Daniel Jones late in the season. He had over the final half of the season, he had 3 multi-touchdown games. He had, let's see, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in
There it is.
In, let's see, what is this? 5 of the last 7 games, he had between 7 to 15 targets. He was getting a lot of targets, so yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Jared Ryan N was saying, "Stop talking about Marlon Mack. He's gonna draft him, and draft him. He did."
Yeah, I'm not that high on Mac now. Not with Taylor there.
Thomas H brings up a point. He says, "Seems like the middle rounds have a lot more wide receiver options than running back." I think like after round 7, that's so true.
Yep.
So, but that's where the gold's going to be mined, because everybody's going to skip over a lot of those guys. One of them's going to, 1 or 2 of them's going to be really valuable. It's just trying to decide trying to figure that out. I put my money on Williams, Damon Williams. We'll see.
Really?
I mean, that's who I drafted this time. Yeah, I didn't.
Thomas H takes both Patriots running backs, Michelle and James White.
Interesting. The Carson Wentz pick. I like the Carson Wentz pick now better. Like he's got better weapons now.
Yeah.
Now that they've added,
who did they draft?
So they added Jalen Reagor, which I don't love by itself. But they also traded for Marquise Goodwin. I can't remember if they took another receiver later in the draft or not. But I like that better than I did before. Like if they just added Reagor, I wouldn't have felt that great about it. But when you've got Goodwin and then you've got Deshaun Jackson if he's healthy, Alshon Jeffrey however long he's healthy, and then Reagor. When you've got those guys to go along with those 2 good tight ends, a good pass catching running back, I feel better about Carson Wentz now. So.
So we're looking at what round are we? We're in the
11th,
bottom of the 11th.
11th round, bottom of the 11th. So coming up on the 12th round. I mean, I basically have to look at the 12th round. And there's just so many tight ends left. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Great tight ends. Well, I guess there's not so many. Fant, Hurst. I'm going to have to take Hurst.
I thought about taking him with my pick there, and then I was like, I'd rather have the depth of Carry-On. And then, there's still Gesicki, there's still Hawkinson. I just, as much, I like Hurst, but I couldn't justify taking him over Carry-On at that spot.
What's it called? Thomas H justifies taking 2 Patriots running backs, saying he figured Michelle might get injured, so get White too, just in case. Which is interesting because James White is the greatest pass-catching running back of the past 3 years. And depending on the quarterback, there might be a lot of checkdowns. So White could be very good this year. And Judah, you took Rojo. He still takes Rojo. Oh my goodness.
I mean, in the 12th round? Come on. He's going to have some value. If not, I'll just dump him for a rookie, that shines or something. At this point, there's 15 rounds.
Right. This is a year where I wish that you had like 18 roster spots because there are so many guys that could potentially be good that it just kills me to have them out there on a waiver wire in a standard league. I wish that there were, a couple more roster spots.
Yeah.
Ryan N says Rojo's a steal in round 12. It is going to be interesting what the dynamic between him and Deshaun Vaughn's going to be.
Yeah. Well, and another thing is people are expecting these rookie running backs to come in and take the job. I think in most cases, like I think Jonathan Taylor, at worst, yeah, he's going to split with Marlon Mack. But some of these guys, that they're thinking, oh, they're going to take the job. It might be Ronald Jones all over again, where I think he was a 3rd round pick. So maybe not quite as high as some of these guys, that were taken 2nd round, but people were thinking, oh, he's going to come in and beat out Peyton Barber or whoever, and he didn't, so.
Yeah, and people forget that coaches do not trust, even in the running back position, they don't trust the rookies as much as the guys that have been there, learning the playbook, in practice, going through the motions. But is Peyton Barber still there though?
Yeah, I think he's. Oh, you mean in Tampa? Yeah, he's still there. Oh wait, no. Let's see.
He's in Washington.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's not. Yeah.
So it's going to be Rojo's job.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, Vaughn may jump him. I mean, Ronald Jones hasn't really stepped out and won that job before. So.
Aaron Rodgers goes off the board at pick 123.
It's a long drop for.
Wow.
That is. Guys, I'm getting really worried about my team.
Really?
Maybe I just should stop reading. Stop reading Green Bay commentary because, man, it is turmoil.
And Rodgers is saying nothing. Like that's kind of worrisome.
That's ominous. That
I'm
is
telling
real
you.
ominous.
I'm telling you.
What are you? What are you telling me?
I'm telling you, be worried. I've been telling you, be worried about the Packers ever since the draft.
Oh please!
Mm-hmm.
You just hate the Packers.
I do hate the Packers, but this is a professional thing. This is not personal this time.
We're like, they can't be worse than last year, and they made it to the.
They absolutely can be.
Why? What would be worse? Like
Devontae Adams gets injured, and so does Aaron Rodgers.
Devontae Adams got injured last year,
right? And if you
they still made it to the playoffs.
I don't know how good Love is going to be. They're probably going to make it to the playoffs, yeah, but they can do worse than 13-3.
I don't think so.
I forgot that it was.
I think they're going to be better.
Dang it! That was not the quarterback I wanted to take. The one quarterback in football. Oh man!
I was actually going to take him there because just to have a second quarterback. I've drafted Daniel Jones in so many other leagues, but
you know what? Baker Mayfield in this fake mock draft that isn't even going to be a league. This is your one chance to impress me. You put me through quarterback purgatory last year. You have one shot.
I like Daniel Jones. How many spots do I have left?
Well, this
two?
there. Yeah,
Two
is it? It's your pick now, right? Yeah, so you've got 2 spots left.
Everybody's favorites, kickers and defenses.
I'm just doing it so I don't get a freaking C- again. When I don't.
Yeah, I took Zerline there. I was thinking like, maybe I would take somebody else, and I'm like, no, I want to get a good grade. So
it's all about the grade. You guys brought attention to the grade.
Gotta get my yearly 87 B+.
Let's see here. What?
Kansas City, interesting.
Yeah, I would probably again take. I don't know if I would really draft a defense in a real mock or in a real draft, but
no,
not you too.
I mean, it's a waste.
This year, it's just so it's just hard to tell who's going to be good, and this year the position player depth is just
insane.
It's so good, it's just hard to justify rostering a defense when you can get another one of those rookie running backs or a rookie receiver or something. So
every year the best defense, the best fantasy defense is in the last round or taken off of the waiver wire.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Colts defense this year. I would be
Mm.
okay with the Colts defense.
So Thomas, did you guys say Thomas H in the comments said
I just saw
you
it.
you should be worried Packers will be a train wreck. All right, you guys keep keep it up.
I don't
We'll
know if they're
see.
going to be a train wreck. I think internally they might be a mess, but I don't think they'll be a train wreck. I mean, at worst, like 10-6, in my opinion. I do have to check their schedule, though. Thomas H asks, who is Jonnu Smith? And Jared, you're the one who's normally higher on him, right?
I was last year, yeah, for parts of last year when Delaney Walker was out.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's the Titans tight end. You know, the Titans had a rookie receiver last year. Tannehill's not a guy who's gonna go through 4 or 5 progressions. So the Titans have always kind of thrown to those tight ends, and Smith is pretty good. He had a couple of good games. I think in DFS he kind of benefited me more because I couldn't really justify starting him. Let's see what his big games were down the stretch last year. Yeah, I mean he had 2 back-to-back games in December where he had 60 yards or more and a touchdown in one of them. So he filled in. He was a good little fill in actually in the fantasy playoffs there, or as a DFS play.
Yeah. He basically they are tight end heavy as far as their offense and they like to go. They used to like Delaney Walker, and he basically just filled in pretty much same production as Delaney Walker. Where do I click to see everybody's picks and the draft board?
You just go to draft results, but you've got the last pick, unless you
I
want
don't
to
care.
do it.
Where's draft results?
Where's that? Right in the bar. If you want to go like round by round, or you could go teams.
No, the big colorful one.
That's draft results, and then you click draft board.
Where? I don't see that.
Okay, so you see where it says players, like the thing you're on. Go to the right and click draft results.
Okay. Wait, go to the right.
Let's see. Let's see if I like anybody's team better.
Ryan N says all the backup tight ends he wanted are gone, so it looks like he's rolling with one. And that's
okay. Let's look at the teams here.
Who do we want to look at first? I don't even know.
Let's see. I like Joe's team. Joe's team's pretty good, I think. Let's see.
You got Kyler Murray. That scares me.
Who's Joe? So Barkley, Eckler, Godwin. I mean, David Johnson. That's good. Kyler Murray, David Montgomery.
Not gonna lie, I kind of like Ryan's team. He's got 2 good wide receivers and 2 good running back. Great running backs.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to Ryan yet.
Let's
see.
I have to say, I'm sorry, Thomas H. I don't like your team.
Wow. Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, it doesn't help that like Devontae Parker, my nemesis, and Mike Evans, it's like, oh.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of like Thomas H because I like a lot of the players on his roster. I really like Kelsey. I really like Chark. I really like James White. I love Matt Ryan, and I really like Christian McCaffrey. So I think a couple of players could just blow up on his roster with 1 million points. And Thomas H says, "Come at me, Buddha."
Yeah, I do like Ryan's team. He's got a lot of running back depth. The only pick that I would really question would be like, man, Aaron Jones scares me as I mean, I guess second round pick, but he still kind of scares me even as that. But he's got great depth at running back. I don't know, like running back can really kind of carry him there, but I don't know about some of those other spots.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to trash this dude, but I don't like. Go ahead.
Were you gonna lie?
No, I don't. I gotta be honest. I don't like Kai's roster. I don't.
No, it's auto draft.
Jackson, but no. I don't think he was auto draft.
Yeah, look at the top.
No, it was EMC. I think. Oh, that's because he's gone now. He left like at the end of the draft.
That's
I-
a terrible team.
I
He's got,
don't like it. Juju, Fournette. I don't like that.
And the tough thing for him is he has his third running back is Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
as his starters are okay, but yeah, not
I'm
with,
pretty sure that was auto drafted. Come
I
on.
don't think so. I don't think so. I will go.
Why would you
check the
take two
replay.
quarterbacks in the first 6 rounds?
I'm gonna go check the replay real quick. Let's see.
JP, AJ, I like
Not
you guys.
auto-draft.
No?
Guy was not auto draft. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with
AJ,
mine.
I like your team. That's a good
Thank
team,
you.
except for the Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I wanted to go Kirk Cousins instead at quarterback, but I'm okay with Mayfield.
yeah.
But yeah, I like Hopkins, I like Brown, I like Kamara. You guys know I'm high on Denver, so I like Gordon a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like my starting lineup.
I like that team too. Yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn could be a third running back for you. Yeah, no, I do like your team.
And Marvin
JP,
Jones is
yours
the
is
greatest
looking
wide
pretty
receiver
good, too.
too in history.
See, you stole my girly pick. I really wanted that girly pick.
Yeah, I
I
think.
should have taken him second round.
Yeah.
Jared,
Yeah.
you got a solid team.
Let's see here. I think we just got the mock draft results.
Oh, here we go.
Where do we go?
Let's
Guys,
see.
I think it's in your email, right? Yeah. Guys, let us know what draft grade you got.
Oh wait, no. This is the one that I didn't log out of. Sorry. Let's see. Maybe I got the other one too. Let's see. Which one is this one?
Ryan N says he loves his
Oh.
depth at wide receiver. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I just got a B- in this one. I got an 82.
Ooh.
Let's see.
I'm sure it's better than mine. Is there?
I
somewhere
also
can-
got an 80. I got an 82 B-.
Oh, Thomas H won that one. Yeah. AJ.
What?
Oh, Judah. Oh, don't look at Judah.
Oh no.
I like my team.
Thomas H. Solid A, baby. Take that, Buddha.
Where do you?
So you
Where
go
do you
to
look?
are you in your email?
No.
Okay, you got to go to your email because it sends you a whatever
Well, I mean,
whatever email.
Isn't there somewhere on my Yahoo I can check? No?
I think you have to access it from the email.
Hey Jared, by the way.
Oh,
where
I got
do
a
you-
70, a C minus.
Where do you see like the whole statistic
So-
for our entire
Yeah.
league? Where do you see that?
Yeah. So the whole thing you go to let's see, hold on.
You got to go to.
So you go to mock draft
draft.
report card, and then you after you go to the mock draft report card, then you go to view projected standings
okay.
over there.
All right.
Yeah, so your total point score, AJ's 691. You're
Okay.
at third. You're in third place. Mine is 680. I'm in fourth.
Third-
right behind you.
Third place for life.
Me and Ryan tied at 680 on the point score there.
Really?
Yeah, and Joe, the Joe guy whose team I liked is right behind Thomas H at 776 in second place.
So where is Judah Buddha? That's amazing.
Dead last, 575.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we drafting to get a good grade on this thing?
I don't know.
No, I mean I don't because I don't know exactly how they value things. So I just draft roughly. I mean, some of those late round picks, I was filling out a roster just so I didn't have a bad grade. But I like through the first 12 or 13 rounds, I drafted just the way I would draft. So
Ryan N says Yahoo draft grades are garbage. They rate your team by positional strength, average them together, not based on individual players. Going running back heavy makes you weak, according to Yahoo.
Oh, interesting.
yeah. I normally don't really pay attention. The one area where I'll say I think I found Yahoo's projections to be pretty good is their strength of schedule. Because normally they're
But we
pretty.
don't even know that yet.
You don't for sure. No, I don't mean like the teams that the real life strength of schedule, but like the teams that you'll face. Well, like I guess you don't really know that for this yet, but in normal drafts where where we've gotten to the point where we know what the schedule is going to be for the real life teams, usually they're pretty good at being able to figure out who's going to have pretty good weeks on a given week, and if you're going to have a tough schedule or not. Those have been pretty accurate from what I've seen.
And Chittaboo, I think your roster's not bad. I don't think it's bad. I like Stafford, I like Galladay, and I like Jacobs. Granted, you are a huge Odell fan.
I am a huge Odell fan. I love Singletary. I think Jacobs is going to be the number one running back, or he possibly could be the number one running back overall. Galladay is taking another step forward. Are you kidding me? He's going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford's going to be throwing to him. I'm going to have the double threat right there. It's going to be hard during their bye week, but whatever. I'll figure it out. Hayden Hurst as my tight end, solid. I think the weakness would. I mean, I've got Metcalf and Diggs as my 2 and 3. I feel good about my wide receiver depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like auction. Like I was saying before, like auction drafts. You were talking about Galladay. Like I think you could build a great team just taking like a bunch of 3rd round picks in an auction draft, because you could have our 3rd and 4th round picks. Because you could have like Galladay and someone like Thielen or DJ Moore or AJ Brown as your 2 receivers. You could have 3 running backs like Gurley, Kenyon Drake, Miles Sanders. You could get Kittle there. I mean, you could build a great team off of just guys from the 3rd and 4th rounds, I think, this year.
Kittle went in the 3rd round.
That's typically where like,
he goes.
Yeah, like sometimes he'll go. Usually it's like top of the 3rd is about the earliest. He maybe could sneak up into the bottom of the 2nd on some drafts, but typically it's somewhere in the 3rd round.
Oh my goodness, Ryan! I just noticed this. Ryan N said he has 3 in real life wide receiver ones on his bench. He's got in real life, like Allen technically is wide receiver 1. Fuller's now wide receiver 1 because Hopkins is gone, and now Crowder because the Jets don't have any wide receivers.
Allen's not on his bench though.
They're on his bench. Yeah, he's got Thielen and Sutton in his starting lineup.
Oh,
which is really interesting considering, because let's say Keenan Allen does well this year with Tyrod Taylor, and I mean I don't feel great about Will Fuller, but maybe the Jets pull it together. So that's really interesting when you think about that, because they have a higher chance of actually getting more targets too.
Who's going to be throwing to Allen, though?
Tyrod or Justin Herbert? You don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, Herbert, it'll be interesting to see how accurate he is, Keenan Allen is a huge wild card because there's just no way to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does have in real life wide receivers, but they're huge question marks. I like them. I think the talent's there with Allen and Juju for sure. And he got him at a good price, so I'm not knocking it. That's good. But I'd just rather have a little Diggs action and a little Galladay action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not big on Diggs. Galladay, yes.
Oh yeah.
Galladay could end up definitely being like a, top 2 or 3 receiver if things broke right.
I think Diggs is going to be top 10, easy top 10 wide receiver.
Really?
This season, if we have a season, yeah.
I don't know about that.
How much do you think Brown's going to take away too?
I think Brown is going to take a hit. I think he is. But he would be. I mean, you can get him. I didn't get Brown, did I? Dang it! I was planning on taking Brown.
I took him.
You can. Yeah. Get him. What round did you get him?
I got him in round. Let me check real quick. Oh boy!
You got him in the 10th round.
Yeah. I really liked him.
So that's really good value for somebody who's catching long balls. on your bench.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
think
like
Brown.
my backup wide receivers a lot because I like Brown, and then Marvin Jones is just like eerily consistent by the
Yeah.
tail end of the year. Like he doesn't start great, but by the end of the
Right.
season, he's like a 10-point a game guy, and I love him for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you take some of those second year wide receivers, guys like Slayton or McLaurin or guys like that, I mean, you've got the potential for them to break out into like a good wide receiver too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depth at receiver. There's a lot of depth at tight end, which I mean to me just means you go running back heavy early.
Early. You're absolutely right. That's my biggest regret in this draft. Should we draft again? No, we got to go. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to do another one. But we've got
fun.
We've got months to do more mock drafts. Well, one thing that will be interesting though is we're now at the beginning of May, and so Yahoo opens up more. I guess the drafting is cut off, like actual team drafting is cut off until June. What's going to be interesting to see is if when June gets here, if they open up pay leagues too, or if they're still uncertain about the season and they don't want to collect people's money and they kick that down the road. So, but I hope they open it up. I want to draft a couple of early teams, and I usually do well with drafting early. So
there was one comment I had missed real quick. Ryan N had asked, he said, ideally my team would be changed by round 2, Julio over Aaron Jones next time. Wish Ryan had fallen over Brady and possibly draft Carson over Bell.
Yeah, I would probably do both those. Aaron Jones is I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, he's in his 4th year. They drafted Dillon. They've still got Jamal Williams. I mean, there's still time that if they could maybe cut Jamal Williams or something. But like as it stands right now, I would be extremely nervous about drafting Aaron Jones before probably 4th round. I would feel better about getting Fournette or Chris Carson. I mean, because you've got
Fournette even.
Wow. Because you've got the workload, just guaranteed workload there.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because Fournette. I'm complete. That's hilarious. I'm almost completely against Fournette because this is the Jaguars didn't give him his option, so I don't know how hard he's going to want to play this year. They're not going to pick up his 5th-year option. I don't like the Jaguars' offensive line. I don't want the Jaguars' offensive line. I think Fournette wants out of Jacksonville. I don't know. I don't. And the thing with Fournette that hurts me a lot is that he's injury prone. He is injury prone. His legs are
injury prone.
He is though. Last year he finally got it together a little bit better. So I don't know if that'll stick around for another season, but it's just the volume. Like the first thing I really look at is volume. And Aaron Jones, man, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be there. I have no idea what's going to be for him between Dillon and Jamal Williams if they both
look. If Fournette is looking to be playing for another team, he wants to be playing. He wants to be playing as hard as he can, because his play this season is going to determine if he gets picked up next year.
Well, and think about Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones had 19 touchdowns last year. Yeah, that's how most of his fantasy production came. Like he only ran for just over 1,000 yards. I mean, 1,000 yards. That's solid, but 1,000 yards isn't some insane number. So he added some, receiving, and so that's really kind of what helped him. But it was really those touchdowns that made the difference. So like I just the touchdown regression is really what scares me.
Well, Thomas H asks us which of the undrafted rookies are most likely to, or undrafted in our mock draft rookies are most likely to be a steal. J.K. Dobbins, Jerry Jeudy, C.D. Lamb, and I am 100% in with Ryan in on this one that it's Jerry Jeudy.
Me too.
Completely in on that.
Did Justin Jefferson get drafted in that little mock?
He did get drafted. I think he got drafted like about pick 138.
Okay.
Who did he go to? I got to check who he went to because that could be.
Because he's got a little bit easier path, even though the Vikings don't throw the ball that much. I mean, you've got Thielen, you've got that second year tight end that they have, Irv Smith. They like to throw it off to the running back, but yeah, out of those three, definitely Jeudy for me.
Yeah, for me, it's Dobbins is in Baltimore with
Minnesota.
7 running backs. And even if his talent comes out and he wins the starting job, he still is in a tough competition with Lamar Jackson. CeeDee Lamb is with Gallup and Amari Cooper. And you guys already know I'm super high on the Broncos this year because they have a really good defense. And John Elway, I can't remember where I read this, but he drafted to beat the Chiefs. He's drafting for firepower. He got 2 wide receivers. He got Jeudy and Hamler in the first round, but I think Judy's going to totally take along the 1-2 role with Sutton. You've got Melvin Gordon. Drew Lock had a solid end to last year. I love Jeudy in Denver so much. I really do. I just really like Denver a lot this year.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, if they absolutely bomb, I will not be happy. I would be very
Well,
disappointed.
historically, where he's had the biggest problem with his teams, speaking of who'd you just mention?
Elway?
Elway
Mhm.
is quarterback, and that's where I see the biggest vulnerability in that team,
Yeah.
and it could all crumble. I mean, if Locke is, even if he's just marginally better than he was last year, or say he was just as good, if he's just as good as he was last year,
Mhm.
I don't think that'll be enough.
I don't know if it'll be enough to take like the division. Absolutely not. But I think let's just say he does as well as he did at the end of last year. 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. Sends the Broncos on a 4 out of 5 game winning streak to end the season. I think that put him over 500 if I remember correctly. Like he was good at the end of last year. And the Broncos only got better this offseason. So if Locke just continues what he did from the end of last year, keeps that going, and then you already have the running game now. You've got your passing game set up. You've got Noah Fant at tight end. I think their offense is really good, and I think Drew Lock could also be really good. I know a lot of people say he's a risk, but he had a really good. He was really solid at the end of last year.
What was he like in college? Who did he play for?
Missouri, right?
Yep, and he was definitely he would outgun you. He would outgun you. The Missouri did not have the greatest run game, but they would throw over the top, and he was pretty good. Missouri wasn't great because their defense wasn't great, but he was solid.
And he was originally expected to be a first round pick. Like he was expected to be like a mid. A lot of people had him as a mid first round pick, and then he slipped to Denver in the second round, kind of like Eason slipped a couple rounds, but yeah, so he didn't just come out of nowhere. So his let's see his his final, I mean, he had a good career at Missouri, so really it was his junior year that kind of set him apart. He was still good his senior year, but junior year he threw for almost 4,000 yards, 3964. And he threw 44 touchdowns and 13 INTs. And then senior year, it dipped a little bit. He didn't throw. Well, I guess actually he did throw even more, but somehow it was for fewer yards. His completion percentage was higher. I guess they just started throwing more short passes, and he threw 28 touchdowns and 8 INTs. So, yeah, I mean, he had a very good college career.
And granted, whenever he would win, especially if we're talking about his junior year, he would throw for like 6 touchdowns every game. And to his point, he was playing in the toughest conference in college football. So he was going up against top competition, and he'd have to go in there and score 38 points a game. And he did it for the most part. And he always had a really strong end to his years, which was really weird. It's like Missouri would have a bad 4-game stretch, but then they'd win like 6 out of 7 to finish the season. It was always strange.
Interesting.
And Ryan N says his issue with waiting with Matt Ryan if he misses out on him is his only good options are Brady and Stafford. I like Stafford. I like Matthew Stafford a lot, especially with Galladay. Now they've got Swift. If you miss Ryan, I think Stafford's really, really good.
And Hawkinson going into year 2. I would feel a little bit better if they had gotten another receiver. But, Stafford was on pace for huge numbers. I don't remember where he was ranked, but, he was one of through the first half of the season, one of the top.
He was in top 5 easily.
Yeah. I like him. Daniel Jones. Again, I like Daniel Jones. It's more of an unknown because you've got a new coach coming in and stuff like that. But year 2, he's got Darius Slayton going into year 2, Sterling Shepard into year 3 or 4.
4.
Saquon Barkley going into year 3. So I think they upgraded that offensive line. Jones had some big games, and the defenses he's playing are not going to be the best. The Cowboys aren't going to be that great. The Redskins aren't going to be that great. I'm not sure about the Eagles, but
wait. The Cowboys are not going to be that great. You talking about defense?
Not on defense. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Maybe their defense is coming on pretty strong last year towards the end.
Yeah. Well, and then they got burned by the Bears.
Remember that
By
game?
the Bears.
Remember that shootout? Let's see. What was the score on that shootout game with the Cowboys and the Rams?
Oh, man. It was...
Is that the end of the year?
44-21. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, 44-21. I don't know. I like Daniel Jones better than you do, but we'll see.
I'm warming up to him, especially if you can get him in the 12th round. Come on.
Yeah,
it's cheap.
Right. Yeah, you think like 2 years ago, Mahomes went undrafted or late. Last year, Lamar Jackson went undrafted or late. It's just like going in, it's always like, how could anyone ever, surpass these, whatever position we're talking about. And it just always happens. So you have to try to, it's tough, but you have to try to project for who's going to take that leap.
Right.
And maybe it ends up being Kyler Murray or Josh Allen.
Or Locke. Let me ask you a question about Locke. Does he run the ball? Does he use his legs at all?
He's not really
much.
He had in his years at Missouri, he had over. He had 100 and something yards for the year.
Yeah,
so
he's not a big runner.
No.
He'll scramble a couple times for 4 or 5 yards, but not much.
Yeah.
So here's the interesting thing, because Ryan N also brought up the point Stafford has the back issue. So from the articles I had read, I think he's fully healed 100%, and I think that was more of a freak accident. I think he'll be okay from that. So I went back and looked at what Stafford did. If you just take the data and just double what he did, because he played 8 games, he throws for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But now I'm starting to think, though, they didn't draft a quarterback, right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
And who's his backup?
It was they
Who's the
had
guy?
No name, right?
it ended up being the 3rd string guy because the guy that they had behind him, who I've forgotten,
sick or something?
got hurt too.
Oh, it was David Blau. That's who it was.
David Blau. He was the guy that
yes.
ended up. Yeah, David Blau is not going to be replacing Matt Stafford. So
They got Chase
no,
Daniel. in free agency.
But that
I got who?
Chase Daniel in free agency.
Oh, yeah, the
Ah.
consummate backup. He's not taking Matt Stafford's job either.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying like that would be my answer to his back issue. Would be that the team seems to have pretty good confidence in in him being the starting quarterback the whole year, or else they would have done some. I guess Chase Daniels is kind of interesting.
Is he? Though?
He's like not as good as Josh McCown, who's already the greatest backup in history. So
It's like saying like a plain hamburger's like that plain hamburger is kind of interesting. It's not really.
Ouch.
I mean, it's just like you know what you're getting with it. You know,
it's perfectly fine.
Right.
It is perfectly fine.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Isn't this the second year in a row though that he has some kind of issue? You talk about injury prone. Is like his hand last year, and
he's had a couple of hand. I think he broke his finger a couple of years back. I think 2 years ago.
It seems like
he's
every year at the end of the season he breaks.
No, okay. No. I'm about to just smack your assertion down there.
I'm not asserting that. I'm just saying that's my impression.
Okay, well, your impression is wrong because he played eight straight years of 16 games until last year.
Yeah, but he always plays through injuries.
And he's still good.
He didn't have any injury.
He's still good, though.
I mean, he's still known for playing through injuries. He was trying to play last year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll read up to make sure. I'll read up to see like if how much of a risk of like those fractures coming back are, because I mean that would be the thing, because otherwise like that's just kind of a freak thing. Yeah. He does always play. I mean he's almost like the Julio Jones of quarterbacks, except Julio will miss a game every now and then, and Stafford would just gut through it.
He's the quarterback Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, so to me, he's like Roethlisberger in the sense that they get hurt because they're so big and they take a lot of punishment. But the difference is Roethlisberger is a little crybaby and he'll stay out, and he'll be like, "Oh, I don't know if I can play," and then he'll play, but he'll take a game off. Whereas, dude, Stafford is a beast. He will play through anything. He wanted to play last year through a broken back.
Yeah. Another guy I'm now a little bit more interested to see how he does is if you were in a deep 2 quarterback league that could really be a steal, is the guy I took at the end at Rivers. Because the Colts going into the offseason didn't have a lot weapon wise. And then they added, they had T.Y. Hilton, but he's small and fast, but injury prone. And then they had Jack Doyle at tight end, and they had Mack at running back. But they added guys that, they added Pittman, who I think will be able to contribute right away as a, solid number 2 wide receiver. They added Trey Burton, via free agency. He did well at tight end in Philadelphia, and just, Mitch Trubisky never progressed past that first read of Allen Robinson on most downs, and so Trey Burton never got balls in Chicago. And
plus, we just kind of have a tight end problem. I'll just say, that. We have a tight end problem,
right? And then they added Jonathan Taylor, and so they are going to try to run the ball a lot. But I mean, I think potentially it could set up for Rivers being in position to throw a lot of touchdowns, even if he's not, throwing for 4,500 yards or something.
Yeah. See, that's a secret only known to Colts fans, apparently.
What?
Getting Phillip Rivers late, because he wasn't even like anywhere on the draft boards that I saw during our mock draft.
Yeah.
I think people are sleeping on him. Everybody saw him last year and thinks he's done. He is not done. He had a tough situation.
He had a midlife crisis in football.
No, he had the offensive line was a sieve.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing is he goes to like a top 3 offensive line.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 12.
Wow. He could be a really good waiver wire ad, like this year's Ryan Tannehill. I could see him being
You
that.
guys are getting me excited about Rivers. I wish he'd stayed. I wish they had kept him in with the Chargers in LA. And think about a young quarterback coming under, his tutelage. He leaves this, after this year, passes the baton. Instead,
He's going to do that in Indy with Jacob Eason.
yeah, probably.
I mean, hopefully.
But it's not as. I mean, I think he will, but it's just it's an interrupted flow. They loved him in L.A.
Yeah,
And,
in San Diego too.
San
I'm
Diego.
still sad they left.
It was such a story too. Him coming in, it's just I don't know.
It is going to be
It's
interesting to
sad.
see what like the quarterback dynamic's going to be in LA with the Chargers, because I mean everyone's talking about Rivers and Eason here. You still have Brissett for another year. He's just hanging out.
I have
in
Brissett in my
Indianapolis.
two quarterback. Is he just dead man walking? Jared? What's going on?
Yeah, they'll probably keep him. I think I don't know of where they would trade him to, because
Especially with that big contract.
yeah,
Should I
it's
drop him?
No.
yeah. Wait, Jacoby, you have him in what league? In a
No,
two-quarterback
dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
Who else do you have?
I have
I mean,
Dak.
Because you're not going to be. Yeah, I think you drop him for somebody for sure, because he's not playing this year unless Rivers gets hurt. The best case scenario would probably be Rivers decides after 1 year he's done, and they somehow end up keeping. I don't think they would go back to Jacoby though. I honestly
They just
I'm
go
wondering.
Eason at that point.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know though. Here's my quarterbacks. Oh, this is terrible. Well, I got Fitzpatrick, so I probably just slot him in
Okay.
as my second quarterback.
because he's going
I
to
guess-
start the year. He's going to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll just have to look for somebody else. I've got Studfeld and Keenum.
Case
Keenum's
Keenum?
backing- He's the backup for Mayfield now.
Did you get? You didn't get any of the rookie quarterbacks in that draft, or is that a different league?
No, the draft is coming up.
Oh yeah, I would.
Maybe get Eason, huh?
Not Eason, because unless you're really just thinking long term, because it's probably going to be 2 years before you would have a chance to start. Obviously, if Burrow or Tua
Well, I've got third-
or
I don't pick
Herbert.
till the third round. So those guys are gonna be long gone.
how many teams are in this league?
12.
Oh yeah, they will be gone. Well, that's tough.
Mhm. Who would be a good quarterback that people are sleeping on?
Drew Lock.
No, I mean rookie wise.
I mean, there's
Lock's
all.
already taken.
I mean, I would say Eason's not going to play. I mean, Fromm would probably have a better chance of playing. Like
Really?
if because if Allen gets hurt, because Fromm will have a chance to win that backup job over Matt Barkley.
Mhm.
I mean, so the options are, after Herbert,
I'm not taking Herbert.
Tua. Well, no, I mean he probably won't be there anyway. But Herbert,
Yeah.
Burrow, and Tua are probably going to go pretty quick because they'll have the chance to start almost right away. And if not right away, then Tua by the end of the year or start next season, and same with Herbert. After that, though, Jordan Love is probably 2 years away. Jacob Eason is probably 2 years away. You could maybe take Hurts and see if Wentz
Gets
Hurts.
injured again.
Yeah.
That's the play.
That might be
he's going to get hurt again.
yeah.
Of course he's going to get hurt.
I mean,
He's gotten hurt every year, right?
Every year. Yeah. Except
Yeah.
for maybe his rookie year, but yeah, every year. So you could take Hurts. That is probably the best option. Although if Fromm ends up winning that backup job, Josh Allen is a mobile quarterback. He's putting himself in harm's way. So
He's gotten hurt every year too, for not very as bad, but
yeah. So I would, those two are going to be more of, they have more short-term potential than I think Eason or Love. If Eason or Love see the field in the next year and a half, like something has gone horribly wrong.
Drastically wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well, but
I mean,
remember,
it's
this
just not the plan.
This
for
is
him.
a dynasty league, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have these players forever.
Maybe
Yeah.
draft Love and wait a couple of years, or Eason. Just keep him. How big is your roster?
Huge. My
Nice.
bench is. Let's see how many people I have on my bench.
While you're
1,
looking,
2,
Ryan N says
3,
now we got him started on mock drafts. Gonna have to do an auction soon.
Oh, so does someone in your league already have Jarrett Stidham?
I think I have him.
You have him?
I have him.
Well, then,
Okay.
I mean, he's probably, unless the Patriots sign Dalton or something, like Stidham stands to be the guy.
Mm,
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of Stedfeld. I don't have Stidham.
okay.
So I can pick up Stidham, huh?
yeah.
Oh, if he's out there on your waiver wire?
Yeah,
Yep.
he's out there.
Oh, yeah, drop him for Jacoby in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
James White and Julian Edelman. Enough said.
I mean, the only thing, maybe Dalton replaces him, but even if he does, like Stidham just he still goes into really a better role than Jacoby, because unless Rivers gets hurt and Rivers hasn't, Jacoby's not playing. Whereas, they could, even if they sign Dalton, they could end up deciding like, oh no, we like what we've got with Stidham. So yeah.
Like they might sign Dalton back, is what you're saying?
No, not back. I'm saying the Patriots. The Patriots might sign.
We're talking about the Patriots.
Yeah, because Stidham is the Patriots quarterback.
Stidham is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody's got him in your league. Yeah, pick him
Well,
up.
Yeah.
let me check.
Oh, I thought you just did check.
Rob Gronkowski
Also-
is still out there.
Also, Ryan N has a bold prediction. He said Rodgers Bucks quarterback in 2022. Well, he's not staying in Green Bay for much longer.
There are so many fun possibilities with Aaron Rodgers after this year.
Yep.
And if I was him, I would push him to trade after this year, because that next year is just going to be a dead in the water year. I would push to get traded. And then look at the possibilities you've got. You've got maybe, again, Phillip Rivers is only on a 1-year deal with the Colts. Aaron Rodgers could go to the Colts. Maybe the Patriots, don't end up with a high pick next year and can't get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or somebody. Maybe they want a veteran quarterback. Maybe.
What if they trade for him this year?
I don't think
I don't
think they'll trade him,
this year.
and the cap hit for 1 year is going to be horrible. But for 2 years would just, so I don't think he's going anywhere this year. I think he can just use this as his farewell year in Green Bay and tell them, hey, trade me or I'm not playing. I'll take a year off next year. So I mean, Colts, Patriots could be, maybe Saints. Drew Brees retires, and they say, you know what, Jameis, we're going to bring Aaron in. So he could have his pick of the top teams in the leagues: Patriots, Colts, Saints, Steelers. Maybe the Steelers move on from Ben. Maybe the Broncos decide, we've got a great team around here, but Drew Lock isn't going to be the guy. We're bringing in.
They did that with Manning. They did that with Peyton Manning.
Aaron Rodgers. This could really be like a blessing in disguise for Aaron Rodgers. He could go into just an incredible situation if he forces a trade next year.
This is his chance to get out.
Panthers too, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Maybe.
I mean,
they've got Bridgewater locked for longer, though, right?
For 3 years, but I don't know how much. I don't know how much of that deal. Sometimes the way deals are structured, you can cut a guy after one, or even if they had to keep him on the roster, it could be like a Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett situation. But yeah, that roster could be, potentially pretty good if these guys that they just drafted on defense come along. But this year for sure they're in rebuilding mode. They would be a little bit more of a question mark of how good they're going to look next year. I think another place could be Vegas. They're starting to come along. So Aaron Rodgers could really have a good situation to like force himself into a year from now. I think he should just suck it up this year, there's not a great situation really out there for him. The Packers are still good enough. They're probably not going to win unless somebody takes out San Francisco for them. But I think you just play out this year and you say, trade me next year. I'm not playing for you, so
it's really interesting to see what he does, especially with like how we were saying Broncos, the Peyton Manning dynamic. For all of his greatness, he's only won one Super Bowl, which is really interesting. So he's got to go somewhere that's got a lot of weapons so he can get one more. That's going to be really interesting.
It's crazy. You think about it. Peyton Manning had only won one until that last year in Denver. Drew Brees.
And that was mostly defense too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wheelchaired him out there. Man.
It was just so bad. It was bad.
I was joking. I was joking and not joking. It's true. The reason he didn't have more interceptions was because he was throwing such ducks that even the defense couldn't catch him. Like literally.
Right. That's true. No, you're not wrong. But you look at all these guys. Peyton barely won a second one at the end. Drew Brees only has one. Aaron Rodgers only has one. But it's been Aaron Rodgers really has been the one that's, I think, been wasted the most because they put talent around Peyton in Indy. They just put too much of it on the offensive side. Like really, they should have put more on the defensive side and
offensive line side too.
Offensive line side, yeah. And he could have made receivers. He could have made like cheap receivers better. I think that was the mistake in Indy. The Saints have supported Breeze. It just they got screwed by the refs with that pass interference call.
I'm still mad.
And then the year before that, they had the crazy, Hail Mary that got them beat in the Vikings. Yeah. It's just been like the Saints have just had horrid
worst luck. This is their worst timeline. This is the worst Saints timeline.
It is. It absolutely it's been 2020 has been
for a big win this year.
Maybe. But Aaron Rodgers has been the guy that they just haven't put a good enough team around him to win. So,
and it hasn't helped that he's been injured almost every year.
Yeah, that's not helped. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I gotta blow this popsicle stand.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, Ryan finishes us off by saying, if there's a contract for Rodgers in 2022, the Bucs are gonna need a quarterback. Why? Wouldn't that be just crazy? Because that's when Brady's contract expires. Wouldn't it be crazy if they just move on from Brady and go to Rodgers in 2 years?
I think it would be like a funnier scenario though if Tom Brady's almost ready to retire, but the possibility of Aaron Rodgers coming in like ignites that competitive spirit, and Brady's just trying to play to 50. At some point, like he's going to get close enough to 50 that he's like, I want to be the first quarterback to play to 50, and he's just still going to be there,
Yeah.
I mean, if he could just limp, he could do better than Manning.
Tom Brady will be better than Peyton Manning was that last year. So if you've got a good enough team around you, although now we are in the era of Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, the rules have changed a little bit more in the last few years, and it's tougher for you to just shut down one of these fantastic offenses. You really need someone who can do something for you. So
that's true.
Anyway.
All right, guys. I will see you guys on a Tuesday. What are we going to do Tuesday? You want to talk
I don't
rankings
even
again?
know.
Do we want to talk
Tuesday off?
Do we want what was the first thing you said?
Talk rankings again, since now that we've got a whole new
rookies and
rookies and everything.
Maybe we can just play it by ear for Tuesday. Tuesdays are, I don't know, actually probably going to be easier. Tuesday nights for me easier than Saturdays as we get back going again. But
okay, yeah. I wouldn't mind just sticking to Tuesdays. I mean, unless something develops, we probably should only go to 1 day a week.
Yeah, probably so. So Tuesday nights are usually probably easier for me than Saturday mornings. If things are back to normal. I mean, if they're not,
Normal.
then normal-ish. If they're not, then I'll just won't have anywhere to be otherwise. But let's still do it Tuesday, and then we can kind of figure things out from there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, dudes. Well, stay safe. It's good.
I don't know. Are you gonna end us? Am I gonna? What are we doing here?
I'll